hope that worked.
GORN.
We're gonna. I don't really feel like complaining about YouTube, so we're gonna skip that a little bit. I'll just see if anyone arrives. I hope I've done this right. Yeah, there we are. Is it all here? Oh, sorry. We put that away. Hello, friends. Friendly friends. What have I done? There we go. Oh, no. There we go. Ignore that. Ignore me and ignore that. There we go. Let's move this back over. Hiya! I sent that, didn't I? That's all good to go. Cool! I'm here. Boom! It's my Inception noise. Boom! You know? Easy. It's almost as if... yeah, 8 out of 10. So I go louder. Dom! I don't know what instrument they use to make that music, but whatever it is. 9 out of 10. Whatever. I'm almost there. How are we all doing? I hope you're all well. I really like that bit in Rick and Morty where Morty's like, Inception made sense. You don't have to try and impress me, Morty. That was like the first joke that it told that really set it apart in the second episode. I know that whole show off by heart and it's very embarrassing. Right, I've started the stream a little bit late. I have to go to the gym in 25 minutes, so I've not done a good job of this. I apologize. Jack 7, you are correct. I am just going to make gong sounds. I do wonder how far I can go and if people will still watch if I just started doing random crap. Right. I announced it a minute ago. I'll wait another sort of 30 seconds. Hello, Up is not memed. My friend who has no job. As far as I can make out. No, I haven't played the Rick and Morty VR game. I hear it's not very good. But I think that might just be because it was one of the most expensive VR games available. And I don't think it did anything enough to warrant it being that expensive. Yeah, I've just found a little white powder. I'm certain it's not what you think it is because it's not my bag, baby. It's not my bag, baby, as they say. How's the I'm gonna just play a bit of sound. How is the sound?
GORN is a fighting game in the style of, well, I guess the best way to describe it honestly is it's quite a lot like boxing for the Wii.
I haven't seen this video since I made it. So literally, I don't think I've watched this one in about a year and a half. So we're about to have a pretty good time. I've skipped the beginning because we already watched that last time and it's not that interesting. Boxing for the Wii. Oh my god, this is back when I had no idea what I was doing and thought, yeah, let's make a 7-minute video, fuck it. But the thing is, I didn't know that if you make the reason you make a 10-minute video is so you can manually put more ads into a video. And I didn't know about this until about 3 months ago. So I've been purposefully making all my videos more than 10 minutes long because I heard you get more ad revenue, but not actually doing the required things to actually capitalize on it. Someone just sent me a message. It was Camelworks, if you've heard of him, who makes those Skyrim videos and stuff. I'm trying to think of a famous video he's made. I don't think there are any that are spring to mind. Anyway, and he sent me a message on Twitter being like, you do realize that you can monetize your 10-minute videos? And I was like, what? So, fuck knows. But yes, the PewDiePie approach to videos is adding one advert every 5 minutes. But I try and be fair. If it's like a 15-minute video, I'll put one in the middle and one at the end or something, because I don't want to bombard you. But who really gives a shit anyway? Because YouTube demonetize it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, I don't want to become one of those moany people. Let's just have a nice fun time. So let's start. Sorry, I'm just rambling. I don't remember any of this, so we'll see how it goes. Here we go.
Fighting game in the style of...
Let's go back a little.
GORN is a fighting game in the style of, well, I guess the best way to describe it honestly is it's quite a lot like boxing for the Wii, which I know isn't the greatest achievement because the Wii in one swift movement destroyed everything I ever believed in and marked the true end of my childhood when Nintendo became another cog in the machine where they just exploited the fact that they could basically sell a product on the false premise of innovation rather than actually being an engaging and interesting console. Happen as well.
There's people with the drums. So there's a lot happening here. I dicked about on the again. This is something just because I was new to writing. I didn't really know how to write jokes other than just dicking on a project. Yes, I was a lot more negative. And that's what I mean. I had no I didn't know how to write a joke, so I just complained about things and kind of went down that route. But now I know how to actually write comedy, so I don't do this anymore. This is back when I had my low-res camera and my skin looked smooth and supple, and now I've got one that you can see every wrinkle and I was going to say burn. I don't have any burns on my face. So that's what... But I mean, I really don't like the Wii. I think it kind of comes across. That is actually how I feel. When the Wii came out, I stopped playing Nintendo games until the Switch came out. And I'm really happy that the Switch is out and they're making stuff I actually enjoy, and there's no fucking touchscreen controls that I have to use. But in Breath of the Wild, to do some puzzles, you have to like rotate the Switch, and I fucking hate it. So that's the only bad thing about I hate everything Nintendo does to do with like rotations and touchscreens and what was the other thing? What the Wii was, where you moved it around and pointed at things. I didn't like any of that because it doesn't work. But that's why VR is so good, because it does work. But I don't want to moan. And now here's me playing the Wii drums because my fiance is a drummer, so we have a practice pad in our house. Good morning, the Media Jack. GORN is very good. I don't really know. Yeah, practice pads are things you play so that you can practice the drums, but they don't make too much noise. I think that's what that is. And we had one in the house, so I thought I would use it. But there you are. That's basically it. I wanted to learn the drums for my wedding, but I don't think it's going to happen anymore because we have drummers playing at our wedding. Literally about like 6 drummers. We're going to do a Love Actually thing because every single one of them as friends is a musician, and so there'll be brass players and drummers and all this stuff in the audience, and they're going to bring some instruments and do that like when they did All You Need Is Love in Love Actually. But that's not really related to this video. Anyway, let's go.
It's a game where you hit people with weapons and shit. It feels so much fun to hurt people. It's genuinely a little concerning. Yes. I recommend it. That's it. That's all I've got. That's why the opening of this video thus far has been so fucking irrelevant. No, don't go. I can give you more.
Oh, look, it's back when I had my little... I don't know what that is. I had my Meeseeks as my image. I have nothing really to add to that. This was when I started... I've stopped doing this now, really, where I would just sort of stand and use my hands while I was talking. I might bring it back. It's a really easy way to do filler.
Yes. I recommend it. That's it. That's all I've got. That's why the opening of this video thus far has been so fucking irrelevant.
It's kind of the binging with Babish approach, where you can't see his head, but he's moving his arms around. I might bring it back. It feels a bit cheap. I would rather have more interesting things going on screen that sort of illustrate my point, rather than me just like gesturing. Seems a bit cheap, and I just want to make things hard for myself, apparently, so I don't do that anymore. Good morning, Red Sappan. It's 0041 in Australia. Well, it's 3:45 here, so we're all having a different time.
No, don't go. I can give you more. I can answer some simple...
And that, like the don't click away from the video, that's a very common trope that other people do. It's a very similar sort of thing to showing your subscriber count changing based on what you're saying. It's like, oh, and I really hate Fallout 4, and then it cuts to the subscriber count. I think it's kind of like this like kind of set tropes that people, I guess, do when they're new to writing. And like one of them is like clicking away from the video. One is complaining about things. One is changing your subscriber number. It's when you have no idea what you're doing, I guess. It's quite funny, really, to see myself doing all these tropes. Questions I totally didn't write. What does this mean? Let's go back. What am I talking about here?
Can answer some simple questions about it. Here we go.
I like that. This is me being facetious. How many cats is too many? What soil is best for tomato plants? It's just obviously, is nothing. I think complaining about things is a genre of YouTube videos, but I think everyone's just copying the angry video game nerd. And I think if you want to try and do something unique, you should try and think of ways to be funny without just complaining, I guess. I don't know. Emonus has no sound. Is that just you? I think people can hear me. People seem to be responding to me. Cool. Okay, so I don't know. So here's me answering questions about the game.
Is the game good? Yes. Is the VR immersive? Well, honestly, I'd say it's too immersive. That is not an answer! Look, this game is fucking dangerous. Like, accidentally punching your cat in the face and smashing through a TV dangerous. Oh.
So this was also back when I tried to make sure... Oh, I'll move this other way. Every video had a main theme. I don't really do that anymore because I've run out... Like, the theme in the GORN video is that... Because I was trying to relate it to the fact that I've written the title as an absolute nightmare. So this, I've kind of given up on that now. This game is a nightmare because you break stuff. Elite Dangerous is a nightmare because it's terrifying. Skyrim and Fallout are a nightmare because they're glitchy. Budget Cuts is a nightmare because of the wire, meaning you get tangled up. And I had kind of like themes, and then and then like New Vegas one was a nightmare because it didn't work properly using Vorpex, and then I kind of gave up on that. I tried to have like a single theme running through every video, and that was actually very important to me. So this one was all about, the theme was, you're going to break shit. So that's mostly what I talk about. For fuck's sake.
I love my TV, and my cat's okay here, so he's fine. But after just 10 minutes of playing GORN in a pretty big living room.
So as you can imagine, the house, this camera makes everything look so different. This room looks so, and it's so tidy, my God. Anyway, it looks so clean because it's so fuzzy. This is the whole game show host conundrum. And there you can see, here it is. This is how I set up my lighting. I have a light box here, which is, you can see the wire for, because I just didn't give a shit when I made this video. So there's a light there, and there'll be a light sort of where the camera is. If you moved towards the camera now, there's a light here on the right. Because this room's not big enough to light it properly. There's no way to get a light on the back wall without sticking it where the sofa is. And I needed to show my whole body. So there you go. Thrilling.
They're playing GORN in a pretty
And I'm obviously not playing the game because the wire from the headset is basically just trailing off and it's not plugged into anything. And the controllers obviously aren't on. Nor are they even attached to my arms.
Big living room. I went full force, controller first, straight into my TV, which
I did do that though. Usually I think at this stage in my career I was lying about things just to make jokes, but I did hit the TV while playing and it was very scary. And I don't have that TV anymore. It's probably in a dump somewhere, so it doesn't matter.
I've never even gotten close to doing while playing VR before, including Fallout 4 VR, which I've played for over 35 hours because I enjoy torturing myself. You completely lose yourself when playing GORN. And I know I've spoken about how this happens.
That footage is from the Fallout 4. This is from a different video. That's from the Fallout 4 video, and I've just reused the footage because I didn't give a fuck. The artwork on the wall here. This is from Brazil. My fiance went to Brazil because she's a drummer, so she was like doing Brazilian drumming, which has a name. The style, I can't remember what it is. And she was just like going to markets, and like that painting here in London would probably have cost like 500, 600 pounds, and I'm sure she got it for like 60 quid. And all the art, every piece of art you see in my living room in these shots is art that she got on her Brazilian trip, and getting it back, like going through customs, she just had like her arms full of folded up paintings and they were like, what the hell are you doing? But she managed to get them all home.
You lose yourself when playing GORN. And I know I've spoken about how this happens in Fallout 4 VR, but in that game, what I mean is everything has been converted into 3D really well for a game with such large environments.
See, that's Skyrim and Fallout 4 are very fuzzy games. They haven't been converted that well. This I was quite new to to VR. The resolution of these games is quite low, but it's just because they're so big and they're ports. That's how I see it. It's just like a port, and I'm pretty sure Bethesda basically just flicked a switch and ran it in VR, because games are in 3D. So I think to port a game into 3D is quite easy, but to build it from the ground up with the resolution to actually match the Vive is a completely different matter. These games are quite fuzzy, whereas new games like Five Nights at Freddy's looks absolutely great. The resolution, the way they ported it is really good, but then that's a really small game, so you can run it at a higher resolution. So it's difficult. I'm pretty sure one day it will be possible to run this sort of game with a high resolution. It's just this game wasn't built with that in mind. I'm trying to think of bigger games. Budget Cuts looks great. That's very simple though, but the resolution is much higher. But anyway, I digress.
However, even though it looks great, it is a little fuzzy once you
Okay.
concentrate 5-10 meters in front of you. The whole world isn't HD quality
Yeah, it's
unless
very
your
fuzzy.
computer was built by Doc fucking Brown. And although this sounds like it would be annoying, this is pretty normal for a really large VR game and is honestly good enough to have an absolute blast.
It's just another PewDiePie joke that I've stolen. He used that exact clip as well. I think it might even be taken from his video. It's not very funny on my part. But anyway, basically repeating myself there. And it is good enough. You know, you can get by. Once you wear it long enough, your eyes kind of adjust to the crappy resolution. It would just be nice to have it be a little bit better.
GORN says fuck you to all of this and runs perfectly with no issues at all, like a real game you paid money for. The result of this is a compact, insanely crazy, high-definition space that is so crystal clear that your brain immediately starts filling in the gaps in your memory of where you are in your house with this new location, and things start to get a little fucking screwy.
Help!
The animations are fluid, the frame rate is high.
Right, so that's a JonTron joke. The frame rate is high. Well, saying the word high and then adding a spliff. That's a JonTron joke. What I say about this is true. When you play GORN, that is a really good example of a high resolution game as well. And as soon as you put the headset on, you completely lose track of where you are in the living room, which is why this game is so dangerous. I want to play GORN now. I really want to play GORN now, but I can't, obviously. Maybe I'll stream GORN. You can watch me rip the heads off of things. But yeah, this is just a JonTron joke. I'm looking forward to... I think I stopped stealing jokes in the... I think the Elite Dangerous video, I sort of learnt how to write jokes, and then by Fallout 4 is not a nightmare, and the Skyrim video, I think I've started writing my own jokes by that point. These are all, it's a bit embarrassing, really. Like, I mean, you know, technically I've made this joke myself, you know, it's in a different context, but it's still sort of inspired by someone else.
And the fighting mechanics are as impressive as Minecraft's former lead programmer. Top notch. Oh, for fuck's sake. Welcome to Cooking with Up Is Not...
I think that might have been before the notch controversy, but there you go. Up is not gourmet cooking. This is a joke that I'm sure I must have written this myself. Up is not gourmet cooking.
Come to Cooking with Up Is Not Gourmet Cooking. First remove the head. You don't want that swimming around in your stew. Then get a blunt instrument, say a mace or a giant hammer, and then just go to town on the chest for a few minutes. Oh, very good, it's fucking exploded. The flavour in there will be something special. We actually need a little bit more face in this dish, so we'll just slice this off. Perfect. I mean...
Brilliant. I really want to say that that joke is inspired from somewhere, but I can't for the life of me remember where I got the idea for this joke for. So maybe I did come up. No, using the game to cook something. I'm sure I've stolen that from something. Like just like somewhere in the back of my mind, that whole sort of sequence is inspired by something, but I don't know what it is. So there you go. That's what I do remember. This was quite because this is quite original. The first basically original idea I'd had. I showed it to my fiance Emma, and she just didn't get it. She watched the whole sequence, and she was like, I don't really understand. It might just been my inner Gordon Ramsay. You might be right. And she was like, I don't get it, and I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, I don't see where the comedy here lies. I'll always remember that because I was like, oh no, what if it's not funny? I questioned literally everything I did. I remember having a real panic about, like, I wanted to cut this whole sequence out. It almost didn't make it in because she didn't get it. But obviously, you know, she wasn't being supportive. She was just like, I'm sorry, Matt, I don't really get this joke. And I was like, but I think it's funny. It's very facetious. And she's like, okay. She can't help it. I'm not getting her. Usually she is very on the level with my jokes, but that one she didn't get at all. I still don't know if it's funny. But anyway, let's continue.
Skyrim VR? More like blurry glitch rim VR. Just get this game and shoot arrows into people's faces here instead. Now, I haven't played Skyrim VR because it appears that after giving Skyrim and Bethesda the elixir of fucking immortality in the form of 56,000 mods, allowing them to project their game into a perpetual motion machine of pure fuck.
That was a really hard clip to find, the money being printed. It took me fucking ages to find that because I just couldn't... Just nothing I could find would work in that sequence, but I found it in the end. It's just a money factory printing shit. I stand by this. This I think was a real dick move by Bethesda for them to get into bed with PlayStation when the only reason, in my opinion, Skyrim is even relevant today, and the only reason that they were actually able to make Skyrim VR is because of Skyrim on the PC. It seemed like a bit of a dick move to re-release it for the PlayStation first. But, you know, I'm kind of glad that they did, because if they had released this one first, I'd have been reviewing this one, Skyrim VR, without knowing how to write jokes, and then we wouldn't have... My other Skyrim video would probably been a lot worse. So, you know. The problem, I think, with Bethesda at the minute is that they're... like, people blame Todd Howard. I don't think any of this is Todd Howard's fault with what's going on. Like, he may be in charge, but he doesn't... I mean, I don't know, but I get the feeling that they say to Todd, right, you have, you know, a year to make this. And he's like, okay, we're going to make it in a year. And he probably wants to take longer, but I'm pretty sure... Because he doesn't own Bethesda. He is the head of Bethesda Game Studios. So he does what he's told, effectively. So I have a feeling it's not his fault. And everyone blames him for what happened with Fallout 76. But I just think he made it, but he probably wasn't given enough time or resources. So, you know, I think it's all these pictures of Todd Howard and stuff. I don't think it's his fault. I imagine that his boss's boss probably was like, get it done. And he was like, okay, we'll get it done. I'm trying my best. But obviously he couldn't just turn up and be like, yeah, the game's not very good, because, you know, they'll fire him. So it's quite a difficult position. That's just my view. That's how I see it. I don't base it on any facts, so don't quote me on that. That's just my what I would guess. Anyway, sorry.
Profit. They said, you know what? We could try to release it on PC.
Oh, and here I am just being a dick to someone who probably Todd Howard did not decide, right, let's release it only on PlayStation VR. I really doubt that. I'm sure someone higher up cut a deal with PlayStation, and he just had to agree. But, you know, he may have done, he may not have done, who knows. But I think that's the more likely outcome. Anyway. So here I am just being a dick to him.
Game into a perpetual motion machine of pure fucking profit. They said, you know what? We could try to release it on PC as a thank you to our fans and modders, but oh no, my pen slipped and I just signed an exclusivity deal with Sony because of money or something. But
this is very embarrassing that I just said that I doubt that he was involved, and then I just said in my video. I think back then I didn't feel the way I did now. Oops.
No, GORN is not the flail around hitman till he falls down style of melee combat that it is in Skyrim. This is the real deal. I know you. You want to go apeshit on a fellow human being with hopes and dreams, and you want him to feel that shit. You want that arrow to ruin someone's face so bad that their wife couldn't identify their moderately warm core. It just works. But no, it actually does in this game.
Yeah, I think I wrote that joke myself. I think all of that sequence was actually me, so I'm very happy with that. That scene. This bit here, this was me getting annoyed about I was trying to get a shot of me doing a fingers up, but you can't stop the waves in GORN, so I just had to try and do that while people were trying to attack me, and I was getting really pissed off because I didn't want him to get hit. But then when I actually put the clip in of me doing a middle finger and him getting hit by something, it was actually quite funny.
Hopes and dreams, and you want him to feel that shit. You want that arrow to ruin someone's face so bad that their wife...
This bit. So I was trying desperately to get this scene filmed without anyone getting in the way.
Couldn't identify their moderately warm core.
But the way... I think that's really funny, the way that happened. So that was all on accident. There you go. I just do remember parts of this.
Just works. But no, it actually does in this game. But is it too good? Are you going to accidentally bludgeon to death a loved one that foolishly crosses your path? Maybe. Or carve...
Oh my god, that's really scary.
Too good. Are you going to accidentally bludgeon to death a loved one that foolishly crosses your path? Maybe.
Oh, I wish I could show you the original takes of this. This took about 6 or 7 times because I obviously can't see, and I have to convincingly punch the air and get Emma to move out of the way at the right time. And I was just terrified of hitting her. So I was like, so basically I was just standing there doing the motion backwards and forwards. And I was like, you lean in and move out, and then we'll use that. So I was like, just saying, I'm just going to punch forward in the same place, and you have to lean in and then move backwards at the right time. And as you can see, the very first frame, this is why this, is, there we go. Nope, you can just sort of see it. That's frame 1. You see, she's not even anywhere near me because we just couldn't get it to work. It looked fucking awful. So all it is me basically moving backwards and her flying away from me.
Scratches into your walls with your...
There is no, even semblance of any kind of contact.
Loved one that foolishly crosses your path, maybe.
Oh no, wait, no, she did start a bit closer. But anyway, that's why it sort of happened so quickly, that joke, because I couldn't get her anywhere near. Poor Emma. I framed this really badly. I didn't really know what I was doing. And that sound is me clapping. Or I think actually slapping my hand. I've got one of my controllers here. Where's it gone? I can probably recreate that sound. I'm afraid I have to go now as well, so I'm just going to make that sound, and then I have to go. And we can do we didn't get very far in this episode, but I've not given myself enough time. Right, here we go. I've got a controller. I think it was just that, me just slapping it, and that's the noise that you hear. Or it might have actually just been me slapping this table. There was no actual contact, so that sound is just a made-up sound.
Actually crosses your path, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's probably just me doing clapping. There you go. I'm really sorry, but I've got to go. I haven't given myself enough time for this. We were going to do half an hour, but 25 minutes isn't so bad. So what we'll do is we'll finish this next week, and it's the same time as well, 4 o'clock on a Wednesday. I started a bit early today because I booked a gym session. I don't like these ones. We do lunges. I fucking hate lunges. Oh, whoever invented lunges, why does anyone do them? So I'm not looking forward to this. But I'm trying to make my gym visits tax deductible because I go on camera, which is apparently something that you can do. I'm meeting my accountant. We're going to discuss whether or not you can actually do that. Oh, sorry, I'm moving this around. Okay, so goodbye, everyone. Thank you for watching. The next one will be longer. I've just had a bit of a crammed week this week. Yeah, enjoy is in massive inverted commas. I will not enjoy it. I hate going to the gym, but I go because I go for the endorphins. You know, they say exercise, give me the endorphins, brain. That's why I go to the gym, so they stop me from losing my mind. Right. Have a good day, everyone. I'll be streaming this Sunday on my other streaming channel. I'm going to do some VR games because all my emotes have been approved, and it'll be cool to show you them. I've got like a damn you sun emote, like a little emoticon that you can send, which is me shaking my fist at the sun. And the design for this one's much better than the designs I've done in the past because I got a proper Twitch artist to do it, which is really cool. So I will see you then. Ciao, ciao!